Here says draw a sine diagram for x plus 4 over x minus 3. To draw a sine diagram which says the graph is above of x-axis or below of x-axis. As I said, I find a critical point. That means put my expression equals 0. Here, if I put my expression equals 0, I get x equals 3. But you should know x equals 3. If I put in this expression, make my denominator 0 and make this expression undefined. So never ever x can be 3. X can be 3. It's impossible. But about numerator, if I put it equals 0, I will have x equals negative 4. Now I try to draw a table. I draw a table to show where my graph would be negative and where it's positive. Okay, I try to make it more native. So here I put x here. It's my x. I start from negative infinity and then go the smallest critical point, which is negative 4, then 3. 3 can't be in my domain or the value of x that we can get for this expression goes to positive infinity. Okay, and I write my expression. Now I write my expression here. Which is x plus 4 and x minus 3. Let's draw a dash line here and split negative infinity to positive infinity to several intervals. The first interval from negative infinity to negative 4, this expression located at numerator. So for let me change my color to show it better. So at x equals 4, I have 0. And less than negative 4, less than my critical point, the sign is opposite the sign of x. The sign of x here is positive. So opposite sign of x gives me negative. Between negative 4 and 3, which is larger than negative 4. So larger than negative 4. The sign would be identical with the sign of x, which is positive and positive. Now I count for x minus 3, which located at denominator. So the critical point x equals 3 make my expression undefined. And I say less than 3, the sign would be the opposite of the sign of x, which is negative, negative. And the larger of 3, the sign would be the identical with the sign of x. So if I write my expression that says x plus 4 divided by this fraction line shows my division as well over x minus 3. It's like I do division, so the sign would be follow the division sign, which says negative negative gives me positive. If x equals negative 4 makes my denominator 0, so the expression would be 0. Now I will go the interval between negative 4 and 3, which says here numerator would be positive, denominator would be negative. Positive negative gives me negative, and at x equals 3, the denominator would be 0, that make this expression undefined, and the larger than 3, both of them are positive, so gives me positive. Now I try to draw a sign diagram, which is here, my sign diagram. And I say from negative infinity to positive infinity. And I have 0 here, negative 4 here, and 3 here. I say for 3, I put a open circle, and for negative 4, I put a filled circle. So from negative infinity to negative 4, my sign would be positive. From negative 4 to positive 3, my sign would be negative, and here would be positive.